What is up, Light Fam? Welcome to another video. My name is David. Hey, do you say things like, I'm not perfect, I'm only human, nobody's perfect? Yeah, let's talk about that real quick. All right, Light Fam, so I am here to shatter old limiting belief systems and help you guys step into a more empowering paradigm. And so we have heard all of our lives has come from all sides that we are not perfect. We're only human. Nobody's perfect. And we hear this on such a repetitive basis that it just becomes our truth. Not because it's actually true, but when you hear something over and over and over again, your brain just accepts it as truth without questioning it. Sociologists have published so many studies proving that a story or a rumor or a lie or a narrative is accepted as truth if it is heard on a repetitive basis. This is actually the premise behind propaganda. If you don't think propaganda works as far as controlling the mind, just look at how the fear-based news media puppeteers the masses with fear. So it's the same basis, repetition until it's believed. What is worse is that we lean on this cliche as kind of a self-soothing crutch whenever we make a mistake, and we believe that we need a self-soothing crutch whenever we make a mistake because our society is based off of competition and comparison, right? Win, lose, good, bad, earn, reward, acceptance, rejection, mistake, punishment. So yeah, we think that the stakes are so high if we make a mistake. And a lot of this is indoctrinated since childhood, especially if you come from, kind of the fear-based religious households where they preach condemnation and damnation and judgment. Whew, yeah, of course, yeah, don't make a mistake. That's bad. You may go to hell. You're a dirty sinner. So, of course, you're going to think making a mistake is the end of the world and the consequences that may come with that. And so that's when you would need this cliche to, kind of be your self-soothing crutch. Well, I'm not perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. And it also allows you to not take responsibility for your own actions by just chucking it in the I'm only human bucket and forgetting about it. The problem with being indoctrinated with imperfection, incompleteness, and that you are not good enough is that it turns you into a bit of a taker. Meaning that you now try to fix your own inner sense of imperfection by trying to find your ideal of perfection and completeness in other people. And so you look for other people to fill that void and complete you and to validate you, and you find that worthiness through them because of your own perceived sense of imperfection. And this is why it's so dangerous to start kids out with that fear-based, condemning, damning, judgment-based doctrine, because you're starting them out at a deficit and with a sense of guilt. And then you wonder why they have anxiety and act out. Well, it's because the doctrine that you're teaching them does not teach completeness, perfection, and wholeness. We're indoctrinated with, well, only God is perfect. Okay, let's look at God. What is God? Source, divine spirit. We are spiritual beings having human experience, right? You can't be this spiritual person and go around saying we're this multidimensional spiritual being having a temporary human experience, but then turn right around and say we're not perfect, we're only human. Okay, well, can anyone call a spiritual being imperfect? I don't see how anyone could. So what is the imperfect part? The humanness? The physical body? Okay, well, everything that we experience in this physical reality has what's called a life cycle. So there is a birth, an ascension, a peak, a plateau, a decline, and a death. Your physical body is just perfectly on its timeline of the life cycle. And I don't think that we could call the life cycle imperfect. I mean, it was designed by the divine, it's nature. So the life cycle is not imperfect. By the way, your cells, the cells of your body, has consciousness, and the degree to which your body temple functions efficiently is highly dependent upon the thoughts that you feed it. I've got a link in the description to Dr. Joe Dispenza's channel if you want to do more research on this fascinating topic. Okay, so let's look at this example. Take a look at this lion cub here. Would anybody immediately judge this lion cub for not being a perfect lion cub? No, it's not a fully grown adult yet, but it's perfectly on its timeline of being a perfect lion cub. Let's take a look at this caterpillar. Would anybody immediately judge it for not being a perfect caterpillar? No, it hasn't metamorphosized into a butterfly yet, but that may be because it hasn't gotten to the point on its perfect timeline to metamorphosize. But until it gets to that stage, it's a perfect caterpillar where it is. So this is the same with your life. If you're the caterpillar, you are perfect where you are. You are growing, you are evolving along your timeline perfectly. And when it is time to metamorphosize into that idealistic butterfly, you'll be perfect at that stage as well. But as soon as we put that butterfly up on a pedestal, we're simultaneously saying that the caterpillar is this lesser, incomplete, imperfect thing that isn't good enough. And that's where the competition and comparison comes in. That's 3D, that's ego-based. Let's get out of the competition and comparison, because when you deny your perfection as a perfect caterpillar just to get a little bit of self-soothing in return because you made a mistake, the payoff is much much smaller than the cost. Why? Because your self-identity is what creates your reality. If you self-identify as imperfect, you will be vibrationally aligned to experience more things that affirm your perception of imperfection. So how do we wipe this archaic cliche from our paradigm and our belief system, which, by the way, was purposely designed to keep us disempowered, asleep, and codependent? The way that we do that is we get rid of this egoic concept of competition, i.e. win, lose. Making a mistake is not losing. Making a mistake is not a bad thing. And as soon as we stop looking at making a mistake as this bad thing from which we need to self-soothe, from which we need to skirt our responsibility for our actions by just saying, oh yeah, well, who cares? You know, I'm only human. Everybody does it. No. You know, people throw around this phrase, everybody makes mistakes, like it's a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. Yes, everybody does make mistakes. That's why we're here. We are here to make mistakes and learn. Otherwise, it defeats the whole point of incarnating in the first place. Thomas Edison tried 1,000 times to make a working light bulb. He was successful on the 1,001st attempt. And a reporter asked him, what is it like to fail 1,000 times? And he was a little put off by that. Thomas Edison said, I didn't fail 1,000 times. I learned 1,000 ways to not do something until I succeeded. Now, if we look at those first 1,000 light bulbs, could we call them imperfect? Well, yeah, because they didn't work. But you work, right? As a human, you're a perfect human. You work. So you're kind of like the working light bulb. Nobody would look at a working light bulb and call it an imperfect light bulb if it worked. And we see all of these memes that are designed to pull at the heartstrings. Oh, find someone that loves you for your flaws. I've found perfection in my imperfection. Yeah, that's real catchy, right? It makes a great meme. But you're not imperfect. You're not flawed. You may have a concept of flawed because you have this image in your head of perfection that you're comparing yourself to. Oh, there's that word, compare, competition. You know, these egoic 3D concepts really get us humans in trouble, don't they? Imperfect and perfect can only exist in a world of competition and comparison. So raise your consciousness out of that 3D competitive mindset, and then you have nothing to compare yourself to. So I am encouraging you to think in a new and empowering way if you really want to change your life. And even if you question this message, at the end of the day, isn't it better than just continually programming yourself to self-identify with imperfection, incompleteness, and flawedness? Yeah, that's a word, I think. Because to me, identifying with those attributes is subconsciously practicing a form of self-hate. And hate is the opposite of love, which can never be a good thing, at least in my book. Question of the day. Have you ever stopped and critically thought about the cliche, nobody's perfect? Or have you just blindly accepted it because of repetition? Leave those comments below. I would love to get an open discussion on this one. This one definitely has the potential to ruffle a few feathers, but you know me, guys, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I'm not here to give you fluff. I'm here to keep it real so that you break out of those old limiting beliefs so that you can level up to 5D consciousness. If you like the video, then please slap a like on this video. If you want to see more content like this, please click the subscribe button. Don't forget to smash that notification bell so you don't miss the twice weekly spiritual tutorials that I post. Also, go ahead and add me over on Instagram, _lightways. I do answer a lot of questions over there as well. Don't forget to check the link in the description. I do have that link to Dr. Joe Dispenza's channel if you want to do some more research on how you can completely transform your life just by the thoughts that you're thinking. We've got some one-on-one coaching down in the description. We've got a personalized video that we can make for you specifically. Losing my voice here. What else we got? Oh, we've got the 30-minute guided meditation on abundance. Remember, if you have Gmail, that meditation will be under the promotions tab. And if you know anyone that is a little down on themselves and they believe that they're not perfect and they're living in shame and guilt, share this video with them. Change their paradigm, get their mind out of that competitive plane, and when they're no longer comparing themselves to this ideal of perfection, then they'll no longer need to lean on a crutch. All right, guys, I believe that is it for me. You know the deal. Light, love, and abundance to all that are watching and to all you love. Peace, guys.